This is the story of how I changed my life from an insecure fat kid to a man that I can finally say that I'm proud of. How 3 years ago I was able to overcome my struggles with disordered eating, insecurity, and poor body image to finally earn everlasting, sustainable health, and with it, confidence and a brand new life. In this video, I'm going to take you through all the things that I did and all the lessons that I learned and incorporated to change my life, and what ultimately led me to becoming now a actual fitness coach, which seems kind of crazy, in fact, like looking back at my past of being a bullied fat kid, super insecure and not in control of his situation and his life in the slightest. My journey continues in creating this channel to help others like me achieve their fitness goals, grow personally, and improve their lives. Okay, so I'm Italian and Portuguese, born and raised in South Africa. The food in the family, you can only imagine. I mean, I was quite a thin child. Then suddenly, just because of what I understood was because of health reasons, I had terrible asthma, suffered an asthma attack, went on a bunch of corticosteroids to help with the asthma. And as I was told, I was always skinny before that. Then afterwards, I was just I had crazy appetite. Started just eating more and more, started gaining weight. And early years of school, and I would already then was becoming a fat kid. And naturally, my parents responded by saying, okay, what do we do? We'd take him to a nutritionist, a dietitian. That's where the first attempt was made. The nutritionists and dietitians prescribed me, as a young boy, highly restrictive diets that are non-palatable and just not sustainable. Non-starters, even for adults, I would look at these diets now and say this is nonsense. Okay, it is not necessary to eat like that. And some of the snacks and options made no sense. In terms of calories in, calories out, it was nonsense. I was eating dry white fish with nothing on it, basically. But then the snacks were raisins, and I think peanut butter was even on there, which is nonsense. So dietitians, nutritionists, I've met a fair few in my life. Quacks, a lot of them. There are some good ones, I imagine, and maybe it works for some people, but not many that I know and have heard of. I've had many people in my family, and I've known people who have gone to dietitians, and it just didn't work for them for the same reason. It's not sustainable, it's highly restrictive, and it doesn't account for a general healthy lifestyle. Have people going out with their friends and they can't eat dinner because it's not on the prescribed food list, and I'm just like, now. But back then, that was my reality. And no wonder it didn't work. I would lose a bunch of weight, suffer, hate my life, go to school, go to birthday parties, and not be able to eat when it was never necessary. So dietitians were the first. Then going through primary school, being fat, suffering with body image. Thank goodness I liked sports and I was somewhat active. Who knows what I would have looked like otherwise. But typically just this yo-yo thing, like going on a diet, trying to restrict, trying to lose weight. And at that age, it's just kind of like, kids know you're fat, you know you're fat as a kid, and there's already no one had to teach you that it's a bad thing. You just kind of know. No one indoctrinated children to be like, oh, make fun of the fat ones. No, we all just kind of knew. Other kids would look at me and be like, he's fat. And there's just, you look at that as a kid, and I, as an overweight child, would look at a child that's more overweight than me and be like, ugh, that's not good. So it's like we already kind of have it ingrained. You know you don't feel good. You can feel the difference. Even at that age, I knew this is not nice. I don't feel okay just taking my shirt off at the pool with the other kids. I didn't even know who I was self-conscious about. I was a kid. But I knew. No one had to really tell me. And yeah, of course, that was then because I had to get like dietitians and nutritionists, and at that point people were like,
put that cookie down.
Then high school comes, okay? Yeah. In high school, you're self-conscious regardless. That's a really rough time. And of course, being this kid, not knowing and understanding food, having gone through these diets, these ups and downs, where you try to work something, people don't know what's going wrong and don't know how to help you. And you're just starting to just look and try and find the answers. You're trying to achieve that. And that said, even as a kid, you look at, you watch Marvel, you watch the comics, you read the books, and you look at the pictures, and who's the hero? What do they look like? You look at a big muscular man, and you just know that's something good. That's something to be pursued and attained, something worth attaining. There's admiration in a strong physique, and my dad was also a strong and well put together man. So yeah, it was self-evident at this point. Then in high school, now I'm exposed to the internet, so I start trying to find answers for myself. These dietitians aren't working, trying all these different fads, and believe me, I've done it all. I really don't think there's anything I left out. I must have gone through every kind of diet, every kind of fad, from freaking V-Shred and all these other nonsense influences. Terrible fitness advice, unsustainable workouts, just this complete misinformation, this huge confusion due to this misinformation. So it was bad fitness influencers spewing for more views. It was Hollywood lying about what these actors are doing to get in shape.
Steamed veggies and steamed...
You eat a lot. It's 6,000 calories, and it's not the calories you necessarily want.
No, it's not pizza and pasta.
You can get 6,000 calories, like half a pizza is 6,000 calories. But no, this is chicken, and it's tilapia and beans.
Lying about every bit of it. Men's health and all these other things, who are just completely monetizing misinformation. They are monetizing the fact they are getting rich on you not knowing what to do. They want this. They don't want you to be healthy. They don't want you to figure out how simple it is and just slowly apply it. And they are trying to mess with you by taunting you with the golden little carrot, okay, and just holding it up in front of you, saying that there's an easier way. There's one that they're appealing to the weakest part of you, the one that's seeking instant gratification. That's what they use. They convince you that this option exists, and any normal, logical person, which way are you going to choose? 2 years of slow, sustainable, steady progress with a lot of effort and a lot of personal growth, which comes with difficulty, which leads to personal growth, or a one-shot fix, 6-week abs, where all you have to do is sit there and let something vibrate on your tummy. There's so many lies, and best believe I'm going to dedicate a lot of my time and effort to push out the misinformation, because while I wasn't perfect, by no means, and I still am not, I could have really done with the proper information and the proper guidance, and only when I found it, and it came in the form of Coach Greg Doucette.
You're all pussies, you want easy way out, you don't want to work hard.
You funny-voiced legend.
You're freaking out of shape!
From the first day that you just started screaming into the cameras.
3. Limit your fruit intake! Oh, no! Don't limit it, increase it!
Screaming in front of my face.
Fruits are very high in fructose.
Oh, there's a freaking fructose in it!
Something just clicked, something started to make sense. It was simple, and I knew you were telling the truth.
60 million views! 60 million morons! Come on, people!
And that's exactly what you did. For the first time, I had someone telling the truth for what it is. Not what I wanted to hear, but he told the simple truth in in a very unique way.
So you don't have to actually work, and then you just kind of do that. Whoa, that's hard. Are you watching her? Are you that stupid? Do you fall for this?
Calling out the bullshit.
Oh my god, I love these fitness influencers. They're so amazing! They just prey on what you don't believe and don't know, and they don't even know it themselves. She knows nothing. Zero!
And was the starting point of my journey. So Coach Greg, if you're watching this, thanks a bunch, man. I hope I meet you one day. Anyone trying to improve themselves in terms of health and fitness, Coach Greg's good information, because I had tried so many things and I had the discipline. I went 1 year without any sugar, processed sugars, any food with sugar, any alcohol, and I didn't eat my own birthday cake. Yeah, I sat through my party and I didn't eat my own birthday cake for 1 year. That year at least taught me one thing. I'm freaking disciplined. But it didn't have to be that way. I could have really enjoyed myself. It didn't have to. That was not sustainable. It's extreme. Once I got the information in the form of Coach Greg, when Coach Greg came and my real studies began, because I went all in. I was obsessed. I learned all that I could from him, and that led me to all my future and further studies. And I just kept studying, kept applying, and kept working, kept learning and applying what I did, then learning and then slowly helping others, and it kept working. And I figured out how to finally achieve a sustainable way of life. Now, yeah. Wow. That was a lot. I'll go in detail in another video, in my upcoming videos, of all the fitness influencers that I had run-ins with, all the misinformation that I dealt with, why I don't think they are correct, the influence they had on me in my journey, all that. I went through high school, experienced all that as a fat kid, insecure. I would go through periods, I was athletic and I loved sports, so I would lose a bunch of weight, gain it back, and that instability isn't exactly a recipe for security and confidence, you know? Yeah, came to university, discovered Coach Greg, started applying his knowledge, studied further, and then boom, fast forward a little bit, I started changing drastically just by doing simple things. It was finally sustainable. I learned how to do this, and I'm going to describe this going further into my channel. I'm going to be explaining everything I did and how these things can be applied, the real truth of it, and how it's specific to each person. It's not cookie cutter at all. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing necessarily. It is the knowledge and the foundation is true, it is fixed, but there's a lot of different ways to apply it that are right and pragmatic and don't blur the original image, the original understanding. We always need to keep that foundation. So that said, yeah, I will absolutely be making videos on that. Then I started coaching people. People came to me because they saw how I changed, and there were lots of people who were in similar boats and wanted help. I started helping them, started helping more, started doing it professionally. When this journey started and I got this control and I was starting to actually build myself, I fell in love with the whole experience of going through this difficulty. It felt like for the first time I was finally living. And like I was finally embracing life and living my life as if I had been asleep or sleepwalking all those years before. It felt like my life had finally started, that I had actually grasped, and I finally felt I had control of my life, that I wasn't just a victim of circumstance. You know what I mean? That I could actually have my own impact on this world. And it started with the body, and I would argue the body and your health is the main foundation for a lot of other things. Once you conquer that, you learn so much. I learned so much from counting and tracking food and lifting heavy circles so many things about life you wouldn't believe. Like when I say like that stuff grows you on a much deeper level than just you look good in it. You know, you look good in a tank top, which you do, and you feel better. And it's almost a simulation of life, a small simulation of life. And I've seen how the mindset of training and this kind of pursuit of one's health translates to so many other things. This is where it's going. Now I'm teaching and coaching, and it's leading to my brand. And my brand it's called Own Elysium, with Elysium being, it's the realm of bliss and eternal happiness for heroic souls. Okay? So it's described as a heavenly paradise where virtuous individuals find solace and joy, free from suffering and mortal constraints. And I believe that can be achieved here on earth. I do believe it can be achieved in your lifetime. So I called my brand this, and it's dedicated not only to my journey in self-discovery, because I wanted to learn more about myself and the world around me, to understand life and my place in it, in the pursuit of meaning in this life. So yeah, all those fun and philosophical things, and that it carries through so many realms in both just health, relationships, even finance. Like I started in a really broken down dormitory apartment, and through this I created a way out. After 4 years of living in a shared room with 5 people and holes in the walls, which I love. I do not regret it in the slightest. It was a beautiful adventure and I met some amazing people. But nonetheless, now I have my own space, a beautiful apartment. I'll share this in another video as well. But anything that leads to the growth of the person, whether it's earning more money, whether it's improving your relationships, improving your body, which I think are all major pillars for a successful person. And of course, the pursuit of the spirit, you know, that enlightenment, your spirituality. So yeah, my channel is going to be dedicated to all these things and helping others and just being an honest and authentic representation of my journey in discovering and growing this, because in no ways am I a guru of any of this. I'm still just a kind of like decently built little brokey out here. And I mean, don't think that being fat throughout my entire school and high school years did not have a detrimental effect on my experience with women and relationships and all these things. Of course, it took a big blow, and I'm absolutely a late bloomer. Nonetheless, I'm a fast learner, and yeah, it's all part of the journey, and I'm enjoying it. I'm happy where I am. I'm proud of how far I've come, and when I have the opportunity to share my experiences and have those experiences guide and help others, that's just beautiful. I really fell in love with that. I love that. I love seeing that, hey, what I went through, I can pass on. And ultimately, I want to go through this life and learn as much as I can so that I can leave a beautiful legacy, not just for the channel, but for probably the most important thing that I'm pursuing, and that's family legacy, you know? So I want a story to tell my kids and things to pass on to them. And my ultimate goal is to be a truly great husband and father, and to really show up for my family in every way that I can. Love to all.